I want to bring in Professor Jeanne Zaino, teaches political science at Iona College, and that's why I have my shirt on, Jeanne, the Iona shirt for you. So I guess this is the buzz of the class, is it not?
It is. And by the way, we love the shirt. Thank you so much. It's quite an honor. And it is. I'm actually teaching a Supreme Court class this semester, which was just, incredible timing given the nomination. Yeah. And of course, we spend some time watching past confirmation hearings, particularly the most notable. So we had just been watching last week parts of the Anita Hill Clarence Thomas confirmation hearing. And then to come back to class on Tuesday, this having all erupted over the weekend was quite stunning. And I think to the students, they're still trying to wrap their heads around what it all means. Because, of course, 1991, they weren't even alive, so they don't recall that hearing.
Okay, let's start with due process. In your opinion, do college students in your class and on the campus of Iona, do they understand what due process is? Do they understand the presumption of innocence? Because we have a lot of people in very powerful positions who don't care. They're convicting Kavanaugh right from the jump. Do your students care about that?
They do, for the most part. I think, like most Americans, some of them have very different views on this particular issue, but we do talk an awful lot about due process and the presumption of innocence. And I think most of the students, hopefully, at least in my constitutional law and Supreme Court classes, understand that concept. That said, we still have, and I listened to hours of it yesterday, a variety of opinions on what should happen in this particular instance.
But are the opinions emotional? I mean, I'm sure you're getting students to say, oh, he shouldn't get it. Just because the accusation disqualifies him, you're getting people like that, right?
It's interesting. I did not hear, at least they did not verbalize that to me. We did hear some students say this is ridiculous. It was in high school, if it even happened 35 years ago. How can this be held against somebody? that kind of sentiment. Okay. And then all the way to the other end of the spectrum, which was very much like we should give her a chance to speak as well as the judge a chance to speak, and we should be able to vet the reality of the situation as far as we can 35 years later and make a decision, or at least allow the senators to make an informed decision on the allegation.
Well, that's all logical. But the mob isn't portraying it that way. The mob that doesn't like Kavanaugh is using this as a pretense to say he's through, get him out, don't vote on it until after the election, none of that. And we're seeing that on a lot of college campuses. We're just seeing that the people who don't like Kavanaugh, for whatever reason, are using this as a bludgeon to get him out. That's happening.
Yes, certainly that's happening. And what we try to talk about is the fact that as far as possible, we want to take a reasonable approach. To your point, of course that's happening. This is politics. But besides that, we also want to be clear. In the Anita Hill incident, the FBI did take some time, took 2 weeks to investigate the allegations before they held the hearing. So the idea that there would be some time to investigate and then hold the hearings is not, in my opinion, absurd.
Okay, but the difference is
forever is ridiculous.
When Ms. Hill came forward, as we just had in a previous interview, Biden gave all the materials to everybody, and they didn't hold it back to obviously delay the vote. All right, it was, okay, we've come across this, take a look at it, and let's go. There wasn't we'll go right up to the point and then delay it so it doesn't come in before a midterm election. You didn't have that then.
We didn't have that, although Biden got widely criticized for his behavior during the hearings.
Sure, because he was a zealot, but he did the right thing in distributing the information, whereas Feinstein held it back.
I think he did, and I think there has been criticism, even from Democrats, of Dianne Feinstein holding the information. That said, that was a tough call for Dianne Feinstein. But even so, if we step back, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect some time to investigate, a minimal amount of time, and then to hold the hearings. And I think that is a reasonable thing to do. But again, it can't be up until the midterm.
Well, it's not going to happen if the doctor doesn't show up to testify on Monday, as invited by the Judiciary Committee, and she doesn't show up, that's not going to happen. Hey, Doc, we appreciate it very much that you give us your perspective from a political science instructor, and it's always nice to have you on the program. Okay.
Thank you, and please come to campus soon in your shirt.
Oh, yeah, those stoned me to death. I come up. Remember, I was at,
No, they love you.
we played football against Iona and we kicked your butt a couple of times. So I don't know if they're going to
I
like
know
me.
we don't have football anymore, but we have basketball.
That's why. That's why. All right, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you.